What's the last sexual experience you had?
You gotta stop subtweeting Lemaire right now, dude.
Also, fuck Lemaire. We are going to war with Lemaire Lee. And if we have to go to war with Matt and Shane because of it, I'll go to war with Matt and Shane.
Turns out, I'm not the only person Luis J. Gomez has beef with. Because last week, while most of us were getting ready for 2026, the Puerto Rican rattlesnake was at it again, and this time around, it was Shane Gillis' boy, Lemaire Lee.
There's a con to being fat, and the con is no matter how you die, you're going to die from being fat. Like you live by the fat, you die by the fat. Them's the rules. Like I could be walking down the street and get creamed by a meteor, pure chance.
Over the past few days, a completely separate beef was quietly turning into a full-blown comedy civil war over on Twitter. And at the center of it is Lemaire Lee, who somehow found himself beefing not just with one comic, but with the entire New York comedy scene, with Luis J. Gomez as the main antagonist. This all really kicked off after Luis took shots at the Austin comedy scene on the regs a few weeks back.
I had a debate with Tony Hinchcliffe. This is actually a good debate for this show. Because I posted, they were like, you guys should do Skankfest in Austin because it's got the best comedy scene in the world. And I was like, well, no, New York still has the best comics. And I wrote that. And then Tony Hinchcliffe screenshotted it to me and said to me, he's like, really? You think New York's got better comics than us? And then he was like, who do you have? And then I just wrote, I'll pull up the list. I just like, and then I was like, who do you have? Rogan and Tom Segura, and then Roseanne is like the third best,
and Shane sometimes.
Shane sometimes.
Tim Dillon, not
no,
anymore.
Tim Dillon claims New York.
Yeah,
Tim Dillon. We have Tim Beck. He spends most of his time here. Like the average comic, the guys you don't even know about, like blow the guys in Austin away. Like absolutely, all the guys who are doing the Mothership, that small room. Every one of them that moved from New York couldn't even get on stage at the Stand. Couldn't even get on stage at the New York Comedy Club. These guys were failing in New York. That's a fact. It's an absolute fact.
Trying to start a war.
No, it's a war. They know what the fuck's up. They left New York because they couldn't cut it here. Let's get real.
Yeah.
Facts.
Let's get real.
At the time, it felt like standard podcast trash talk. Nothing too wild, nothing that would spiral. But comedy egos are delicate things, and what followed was days of back and forth on Twitter that turned into something much bigger than one offhand comment. Suddenly, timelines were flooded with takes, screenshots, quote tweets, and people picking sides like it was the playoffs. A lot of fans started saying Lemaire was crashing out, while others argued he was just saying the quiet part out loud. But if we're being honest, the crowd response hasn't been particularly kind to him. Most of the noise has leaned heavily in Luis's favor. Luis didn't exactly de-escalate. He went straight for the jugular, openly suggesting that Lemaire's career exists largely because of his proximity to Shane Gillis.
Lemaire, what type of pussy you getting? Where's it from?
No pussy these
What?
days.
What? Oh, you single?
Yeah, dude.
So what type of pussy are you on the market for now?
Geographically speaking.
Geographically speaking. I hate that I'm so honest, but I really would like to have sex with Indian women. That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
According to Luis, he's helped Lemaire out plenty over the years, and this beef feels like betrayal rather than disagreement. What makes it more awkward is that this isn't two strangers sniping from opposite coasts. These are guys who shared stages, podcasts, and even Kill Tony episodes together.
These guys look mad.
No, they're happy.
No?
They're happy, Lemaire.
All right. Don't make me give you the fist.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're actually a racist. They're like a Puerto Rican and a black guy. We didn't pay for this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Texas. Where's the white people?
That's right. In the audience.
There's footage out there of them being friendly, joking, coexisting like normal human beings, which makes the whole thing feel less like professional rivalry and more like watching a group chat implode in public. Luis didn't keep it confined to Twitter either. He brought it up on the New Year's live episode of the Real Ass podcast in front of an audience, turning what might have been online bickering into full-on performance.
What's the last sexual experience you had?
You gotta stop subtweeting Lemaire right now, dude.
Also, fuck Lemaire. We are going to war with Lemaire Lee. And if we have to go to war with Matt and Shane because of it, I'll go to war with Matt and Shane. I'm not afraid of the Matt and Sometimes Shane podcast. There is no fear. Let it be known, Lemaire Lee,
You should
we're
start
coming
wearing
for your
no
ass.
fear t-shirts.
Yeah, dude.
At that point, it stops being just beef and becomes content, which is kind of the most 2026 thing imaginable. Even Crack Amico jumped in, publicly saying Lemaire had gone too far in defending Lewis. Once comedy-adjacent rappers are weighing in, you know the discourse has escaped containment. What's especially interesting is the political confusion this has caused. Lemaire is generally viewed as more liberal, yet here he is aggressively defending the Austin scene, a scene many people associate with Rogan, right-leaning audiences, and anti-woke comedy. That contradiction has left fans scratching their heads. But honestly, it shouldn't. Comedy politics rarely map neatly onto real politics. When it comes to stages, spots, and respect, ideology usually takes a back seat to ego and opportunity. One commenter summed it up perfectly by comparing this to an East Coast versus West Coast beef. Not because the stakes are the same, thankfully no one's releasing diss tracks from rooftops, but because it shows how quickly scenes turn tribal. New York versus Austin, old guard versus new energy, gatekeepers versus platform. They're defending their city, their style, their people. And that's really what this is about. It's not just Lemaire versus Lewis. It's about who gets to talk, who gets to critique, and who gets to define what comedy is supposed to look like right now. Austin's been loud, New York's been resentful, and somewhere in the middle, comedians are airing out years of unspoken tension one tweet at a time. The sad part is that none of this needed to happen publicly. But the funny part is that, of course, it did. Because comedy doesn't resolve conflict quietly anymore. It turns it into engagement. And right now, this beef is doing numbers. Whether Lemaire really went too far, whether Lewis is being overly defensive, or whether everyone involved is just addicted to the dopamine of online chaos probably depends on which side of the timeline you're on. But one thing's clear, comedy fans are watching this like it's a pay-per-view fight, and neither side seems interested in ringing the bell. In the end, it feels less like a moral debate and more like a reminder. In comedy, friendships are temporary, screenshots are forever, and nobody ever really logs off.